Today, we're going to be looking at this special edition Oracle box of the Citadel, along with the 5th edition supplement that is included to help you use the deck in your games. As a lover of all things tarot and tabletop role-playing games, this is right up my alley, so let's jump into it. Now, technically, the Citadel deck started off as a limited edition bonus for a completely different deck. And obviously, I had to get my hands on it. I'm not sure if this is still available at this point in time, but I did always think that the idea behind it was so nice. And I was very surprised when I saw the pre-orders for a full Oracle deck. The special edition box, which has a built-in GM screen, along with the Spy Master's Gambit campaign guide, is a limited edition product over at Liminal 11, which I will have linked down below. I'm a big fan of the tarot and witchy book products that they put out, but I am a little bit bummed that this isn't more wildly available. The deck itself, on the other hand, should be available on Amazon, which I will also have linked down below. And it is, as I mentioned, a larger full-size deck of this smaller Oracle. The deck itself is high quality and absolutely gorgeous. I love the art and designs of these cards, and I have actually used them for some personal readings. As usual, it does come with its own instructional booklet to let you know the meaning of each of the cards and give you some understandings of how to use them to read the general basis of tarot cards and oracle cards in general. Now, where the magic happens is with the campaign guide. This little booklet is jam-packed with a bunch of information. This is the campaign booklet. It starts off with a map. This is the same map that is featured in the box/GM screen, an introduction and a how the campaign works section. This also gives you an idea of how you can utilize the cards. The Spy Master's Gambit works like a ticking clock. After they're hired, they have a set amount of time to discover the mystery and retrieve the stolen items before calamity strikes. Information on how you can create player characters. It does also let you know that you can use this in part of an existing campaign, so you don't have to create new players if you don't want to, but they do have the deck as a way to generate characters your PCs and NPCs can come from the Citadel deck. It's like the Storyteller, the Hound, the Enchanted, the Painter, the Thief, the Champion. You'll just have to remove any NPC cards that are used in this story. And it tells you which ones those are here. Some information to consider while creating your characters, and then we go into creating some non-player characters. Since this is intended to be played as a one-shot, they do give additional information if you want to expand the game, so continue on with the Citadel or play additional one-shots, which is always nice. And then we actually get into the backstory for the actual campaign, along with game notes that are sprinkled throughout to help the game master get a better idea of how to play the characters in the situations. There is a campaign outline, and it is broken down into 2 acts. So Act 1 is tracking the Spy Master, and Act 2 is finding the emblems. And then the emblems match with the emblem deck. From here on, it has a similar structure to a lot of games, broken up mostly into locations, but with additional information throughout. So here we have lore on the court. We have more information about the rookery, which is where Act 1 starts. There's another game note here to give tips on how to reveal clues to the PC, along with a list here of clues that you can reveal. You have some information about the Spy Master, an NPC that you encounter early on, and then some vital clues for the game. We go into the archive, general overview here, and then additional information about the archive, and we'll get insight on the scholar. It lets you know what kind of information you're able to find in the archive so that you can use that when your PCs are exploring the area. Moving on to the theater, the lore on the crowd, which is another group of characters in the Citadel deck. There does seem to be another NPC that is encountered here that doesn't have its own box, but there is information for the game master on what the PCs need to do to get information from that character. And then it kind of just goes into the dancers, the backstage area, and more information on how eager these different characters are to give up information to your PCs. In general, the adventure continues like this for multiple locations. We then get to Act 2, which is set up in a similar way. It does look like we do get more game notes as this goes on to help with running it. We do get some items, additional locations that you visit, and then the conclusion, which it doesn't really specify, but right after we end up in the appendices, which has additional emblems that you can use for the game. So if you've completed the first variant and you want to continue playing or you want to try something else, these are some information about different emblems that you can use. I don't know if it goes through all of them or not, but it does look like there's a lot here. It does sound like the emblems can also be purchased, or you can use them as prompts for building your own game, either within this world or in another world entirely. So I like that little note there. In addition, it has additional characters. For the additional characters, it does specify that not all of the cards are listed here, but this just gives you an idea that you can use to base off of if the other cards, if you want to use a card that's not listed. And then the last section here gives information about gaming with the Citadel, so how you can build a location, information on the court, the academy, the crowd, and the troop. It sounds like you will pull different cards for each section to help you flesh out your location, which I think is very fun. Then a breakdown on how you can build an encounter using the cards. So your first card would be a location, your second card would be an NPC, and your third card would be an outcome. So you could use that to come up with an encounter. And then if you wanted to build a character, you would just pull one card and use that. It also tells you how you can do in-game fortune telling utilizing the cards, which it expands upon on the next page. And that is that. I do love the imagery. I am a little bit sad that there aren't any additional illustrations inside the actual campaign, but it's very straightforward. And since you will probably have the cards with you, you can still get the beautiful art as you are playing. There really are some gorgeous designs in here. I absolutely adore the artwork. I'm a big fan of the artists and have purchased a lot of things from them because of that. The Oracle deck alone just comes with this box, including the Oracle card and the booklet. The last thing that is included in the limited edition box set is another one of the bonus decks. So in this case, it has the deck of emblems, which are themed to work with the Citadel deck and are also relevant to the RPG. If you want to get the Spy Master's Gambit and the deck of emblems, you do have to get the limited special edition box set, which they currently have about 1,000 left. So if you're interested, I will have that linked down below. I do hope they make this available at some point after, maybe in PDF form, but I don't know what the plans are for either of these in the future once the special edition is done. All right, and that is everything. If you are interested in this, I will have a link to the limited edition box set along with a link to just the regular deck. I hope you ended up enjoying this video. If you made it this far, include a witch's hat or witch emoji down below to let me know you got this far. If you like the content, be sure to like and subscribe. Huge shout out to all of my patrons, and I will catch you in the next video. Until next time, bye! Oh my goodness. Have you ever thought what it would be like mixing the magical with the mundane? That makes no sense.